Hello, this is Beckie from Northern Star Guidance, and thank you so much for picking the first set of cards with the stone ironite, which I'll get to a little later. So your geometric transformation cards were Remembrance and Tantric Journey. So this is advice for use in your relationships. This could be the relationships with a partner, family, friends, or even yourself. So, remembrance. The frequency of remembrance supports our memory of everything that we have gone through as a soul in body, providing us with the valuable information and tools to flow gracefully with and in this life. And Tantric Journey. The frequency of Tantric Journey, The frequency of Tantric Journey helps us to unlock the hidden knowledge and wisdom that we intrinsically hold about how to reach a state of wholeness and completion through our sense of experiences with ourselves and with others. So, I feel like these two together, it's almost like connecting to that higher power and higher part of yourself and coming from that part when coming from a state of wholeness when you're interacting with other people and just flowing with it. There's a whole lot of flow and just trusting your instincts with it. So the cards that you got out in relation to this is the Hierophant, Two of Swords, and Judgment. So, I mean, we've got two major arcana cards there, and it's almost like asking, what have you got faith in? It feels like a questioning of faith, really, given Hierophant and Judgment. This is a transformation. It's a change from what you believed before to be the truth to what you believe now. And I feel like, because this is all about making a decision, when you get the Two of Swords out, it's having two truths and being torn between two truths. And whether that is with another person, or do you trust that person? Or do you feel that connection still? I feel like there's some questioning going on around that, or having a decision to make within a relationship. But it does feel like a question of faith. Of what do you believe? Are you acting from what is true to you? What is your truth in all this? Because the Hierophant is what we've grown up to believe. And that's almost what it feels like. It feels like when, let's say you were brought up to believe the sky's pink, and you went through life up until this very moment thinking that the sky is pink. But now someone's turned around and said, no, that's actually blue. And there's a lot of evidence to support that it's blue. And it's left you in that mode of questioning what you believed before. And I suppose this is why it's talking about flowing. Just going with the flow and being open to that change. Doesn't necessarily have to be about faith in terms of religious beliefs. It could be just the things you thought up growing, believing that marriage was the way to go. And that, you had to be married to be in love, and then meeting someone who doesn't want to get married but who loves you and it's that sort of energy of like, well, that's what I used to believe, but does it affect me now? What's it stopping me from moving towards here? Because Judgment asks you to release those beliefs that you know that are no longer true for you, that no longer serve you. Make your peace with them. They served you then. But now something's changed. So find it very interesting that you were drawn to this stone, because this is iolite. And iolite is known for its association with the third eye chakra, and bring strong intuition and vision to the user. So, given that we've got a decision to make here, I feel like this is saying, trust your instincts. This is also known as the Viking's compass, as it was used in one of the first polarizing filters that was used for navigation. So to me, it's like this points to your true north, and your true north, you will feel it in your gut. If you've got that decision to make, just take that time. I always say just meditate. Take some time in meditation and see what you're drawn to, and that is the path. There are no wrong paths though. No matter which way you go with your choices and your decisions, you will gain something. It will take you to a destination. The only one that won't is when you don't make a decision. So the advice that come out, what do you feel? Love this, because the you has been put in italics. What do you feel? And already without, I mean, look, she's balancing an apple and an orange and then looking up in the earth as far away. It's almost like detaching yourself from what other people believe you should feel or believe that you should think. I'll just have a read of that for you. 9. There are many options around you. There you go. Some are helpful, but others are distracting you from your truth. Although it can be helpful to hear the thoughts of others, when it comes down to it, you will have to come to your own decision. Do you know how unique you are? How your path is your path to be chosen, lived and created only by you. Someone else can't be the source of your decision-making power without negative repercussions for both of you in the long run. This oracle comes to you because you have become swept up in thinking things through. You have been thinking about which way to go with a matter of importance to you. Oh my God, that's like so spot on for this. I love these cards. They're just like always accurate, and they're my go-to now. Sorry, I got distracted by the accuracy of that. And you've got a bit stuck in the logic of the decision-making process. Sometimes we have to accept that any path is a path forward. And if it is not the best path, we can change our approach later on if needed. If we are slightly off base with a decision, life will often shift and move to guide us back on track. We don't have to be perfect. In fact, there is rarely ever a perfect choice to be made. Just some choices that feel more heart-honouring than others, following your true north. There. Sometimes we can only really know in hindsight if we've made the best choice possible in that moment. At the time of decision making, we only really have our internal wisdom to rely upon, and that's all we need. The oracle of what do you feel is telling you that there is no need to punish or traumatize yourself with possible choices. Just making a choice will set things in motion. The best way to catalyze the situation you are in and to bring about healing changes, stimulate your creative juices, and find a more inspired, energized, and enjoyable approach to your life is to just make a choice based on what you feel right now. Not based on anyone else's feelings, just yours. So ask yourself, what do I feel right now? And go from there. If you cannot relate to the need to make a choice between two or more clear alternatives, then the oracle brings you this message. You are at a crossroads in your journey, and the choices you make at this time, even simply choosing to do things a little differently without much drama associated with the decision, are powerful triggers for some great magic to enter your life. Take a different approach to something. Be open to that which makes you uncomfortable, but could be exciting and interesting. Even small adventures will yield big rewards right now. It matters less that you do the most wonderful thing ever. And it's got in brackets there, too much pressure. And the more that you simply take an action from your heart, Open up to the creative magic of life and don't worry about how it's all going to work out. The bigger creative flow of life is sorting out all the details, and you are not immune to that plan. In fact, you are a natural part of it. So just spend some time with your own feelings and know that it is all going to work out perfectly. And then the healing process is close your eyes and relax. Rest your open palms facing upwards on your legs. Imagine that you have a ball of light in each hand. If you find it hard to visualize or feel, you may prefer to draw this process in your journal instead. Focus on one ball of light first. What colour or colours does it feel like? What feelings, words, symbols or qualities does it have? How heavy or light it is? How substantial? What do you feel about it? Do you like it? Turn your attention to the second ball of light. Repeat the investigation or exploration that you did for the first one. When you are ready, choose one. There is no wrong or right choice, just whatever captures your attention, energy or heart most at this moment. The other might be there waiting for you later on if it needs to be, or it might be easily released if that most serves your life, your life path and creative journey. You may like to take that chosen ball of light and imagine sending it out into the universe with love. If you've drawn it, you might like to add words, feelings or colour. When you've finished, simply say, "My choices flow easily from my heart, and I tread my path with certainty and grace, always within the merciful protection of unconditional love. So be it." When you are ready, simply open your eyes and you have completed your healing process. Okay, thank you very much, and I will see you again next Tuesday. Bye for now. Hello for group 2 who chose the white howlite. My name's Beckie from Northern Star Guidance. Let's see what cards we got. I'll first apologise because we do have a bit of work going on in our house at the moment, so it might be a little noisy every now and again. So throat chakra and romantic love. And these are the geometric activation cards. So throat chakra. The frequency of the throat chakra, the blue flower of life, supports our self-expression and our sense of peace and balance. The frequency of romantic love supports our journey to feel whole and complete through the experience with and reflection of a conscious lover. So already I'm feeling like this is likely to be surrounding a romantic love interest, person that you've been in love with or person that you are in love with. And this, especially with the throat chakra, feels like speaking your truth, being as completely open and honest in whatever way that is. This could be telling someone that you love them or telling someone that you want to go out with them sometime. It could also be saying the harder truths, that you don't want to be with someone or that you're not happy with the way things are. But I feel like there's a need for that communication and that honesty, and not without attack. Always from a place of, this is how I feel and how can we fix that. So the cards that we got out with that is Queen of Swords. And what exactly does she do? She speaks her truth. The Hierophant, who came out in the last one as well, and the Sun. So this is a little different to the first one. The first reading had the Hierophant on this side. So we've got the Queen of Swords, and like I said, she is not afraid to wield her truth. She stands for honesty and integrity. And she is always just and fair. That is something to remember. This is what I was just saying about making sure that it is said in an honest way that is not an attack on someone, or a judgment for that matter. This is purely looking at things that are affecting you. And I'm very drawn to the way they, both the Hierophant and the Queen of Swords have their hand up to the side here. It's almost like they're preaching, aren't they? They're teaching. And that's what I mean. Like, if this is from a negative way, so say your partner is doing something that is upsetting you or treating you a certain way that you're not happy with, I would read this as okay, I don't like this because, and saying it in that, framing it in that sense of how it's making you feel and how it's not acceptable. But like I said, I feel like there's an element of teaching here. It's coming from a place of knowledge, and I would question that if that is the case, does this person know that you feel this way? That is a big sort of thing that's coming up here. I don't feel it's got negative repercussions here though, because we've got the sun coming out. And it almost feels like shedding light on the unknown. Stepping out into the sun, putting everything out into the light in a positive manner. In a way that sees you empowered. Yeah. So I feel like that's a pretty straightforward reading that you've got there, and I don't need to go into too much detail with it from there. Just think about how you are presenting your truth. And if you're doing it in a sense of talking from you and what affects you, rather than you are doing this to me, so saying to the other person, you were doing this to me, or I don't know, I feel like there's always, because the Queen of Swords, she can be a bit sharp-tongued. But with this Hierophant there, the Hierophant is the teacher, it's the moral lessons. I mean, if it is something from a negative point of view, I would say this is not taking anyone else's BS as well. This is standing up for what you believe in, setting your boundaries and respecting yourself. So let's see, seeing the true you. That is the oracle that you got as advice there. So let's have a read. Oh, I'll just talk about this as well. So white howlite. White howlite is known for reducing stress and anxiety, muscle tensions and pain. It enhances character building, strong sense, what have I just been saying? Strong sense of decency, enabling negative emotions to be cleared, resulting in a calmer outlook on life. So I'm very drawn to the whole, I pick these after I've done the card. So I intuitively just scan. I don't actually know the meanings of the crystals until I look them up. But after I've chosen the cards, I scan across and howlite come up for this one. So I'm very drawn to the way it's talking about decency there, a strong sense of decency. And what is more decent than being honest and speaking your truth and standing up for yourself if need be, or putting your message across. Yeah. So let's have a look at seeing the true you. Sometimes we believe what others tell us we are, as though the self we see reflected back to us through their eyes is truth. Yet the accuracy of the reflection depends on the clarity of that which is doing the reflecting. If the receiver forms any opinion about what is perceived, then what is reflected back to us will, at best, be distorted. So this is what I mean. It feels like people coming from their own, so judging you based on their own standards and their own perceptions, yeah? It is not necessarily through ill will, it is just the mechanics of the situation. Even the moon reflects the sun in varying degrees of fullness and clarity. We can learn something of the nature of sun from the moon, but not as much as through direct perception. This oracle has come to you because you've been putting rather too much faith in the reflections others have of you, to the point that you might not be honouring all that you are and all that you are becoming because you believe too little of yourself. There may be those around you that are able to reflect you more faithfully and even help you see more of your own greatness and beauty. These are the souls blessed with inner stillness, in the clear waters of their ocean of consciousness. You can come to recognize yourself with clear perception. However, there are those who have not tended to their own ocean and are unable to be still enough to genuinely receive and reflect your light back to you. There is no judgment here. Each takes the path of self-healing that is available and appropriate at any given time. However, to attempt to see the magnificence of the sun in a very partial moon doesn't make too much sense. If you are blessed with those in your life who can show you the beauty within you, wonderful. Even so, this oracle comes to you with a task you are now ready for. You are to begin to develop the art of direct perception. This is the ability to recognize yourself, not only in the eyes of others, but from how you feel about yourself, how you experience yourself, and how you observe yourself, with compassion and kindness from within. This is a step towards a rather radical empowerment that does not require perfection in order for you to recognize you are lovable and have much to offer. It is empowerment based on the acceptance of all that you are, working with your strengths, tending to your weaknesses, and being loving, encouraging, and nurturing to all that you perceive. As you continue on this journey, you will not only see your human self, but the eternal within you. This is a breathtaking experience that opens you up to the creative energy that flows abundantly through all of life. It is an experience that takes great preparation, because we must be strong within our own self-love and acceptance to be able to hold acceptance for all its life. This oracle is nudging you into that preparation, for when you have the experience of truly beholding yourself, all judgment, fear, and doubt will fall away, and you will just know yourself to be sacred. Then you will be asked to embrace the deeper journey of sacred rebellion against judgment and fear, and into a passionate creativity and unconditional trust in life. This oracle comes with a special message for you. If you are getting confused about who you are and your motives or actions based on what others are saying or how they are responding to you, step back. In your quest to be a responsible person, you may be unintentionally taking on the feelings of others, making their reflections of you more than they are in truth. More often than not, reflections are more about the state of the reflector than what is being reflected. Let those external perceptions go. Can you just acknowledge yourself? Do so and be free. And the healing process. Say with feeling. I now break any contract I have ever made with another, consciously or unconsciously, that has given them power over me, power over my sense of self, the authority to approve or reject me, and anything about me, including my voice, body, creativity, spirituality, and way of life. Of my own free will, I now choose to directly perceive my own inner beauty and turn within with kindness and compassion, to see myself through the eyes of unconditional love. So be it. Okay, please let me know on my social media how this resonated with you, or in the comments below. Thank you, bye. Hello, this is Beckie from Northern Star Guidance, and a welcome for the people who chose number 3, or the Amazonite rough crystal there. Right, let's just jump straight in, shall we? So these are the geometric activation cards. So we've got allowance, and coherence. The frequency of allowance invites us to be open whatever comes our way, without judgment, without opinion, without fear, and without resistance. When we allow, the universe becomes our partner in a wondrous dance of existence and expansion. And coherence, the frequency of coherence supports our ability to harmonize the frequency of the heart with the frequency of the mind for an optimal balance to create the reality that we desire. So I feel like this is already telling us to let in, to allow space and create space, to allow the changes that we want to take place. So this is in relation to your relationships or yourself. But I already feel a sense of, if you keep doing the same things, you're going to keep getting what you've always got. Do what you've always done, you'll get what you've always got, that's it. So we've got strength or courage, Queen of Pentacles, and the Ace of Cups. So I'm already feeling strength has come up, because we need that. We need that courage, don't we, when we're making changes. This is about, it feels already like standing up for yourself. Because the Queen of Pentacles as well, she knows her own worth. She knows her own value. And if this is in relation, if this is not so much about yourself and what you're going through, but with another person, I would ask you, what do you value? Do you value this partnership, this connection, this friendship? Because if it's something of value, then there's a way of talking through these things, isn't there? But I'd say with this Eight of Cups coming up, this is walking away from something that is emotionally unfulfilling. So just have a think about that. If there's areas or relationships in your life that are no longer in alignment with yourself, it doesn't even have to be that they are treating you badly. But by holding space for that person, it could just be that they're no longer in alignment. I found when I became a parent, a lot of my friends were not parents, and they very slowly dropped out of my friend circle. I've only got like 1 or 2 friends that do not have children. And it's just because your lives go on different paths and you enter a different area of your life. And sometimes it's difficult for people to understand that. So that's what I mean. It doesn't even have to be anything nasty. It could just be that something has fell. Something no longer resonates. And this is just having that strength to not hold space for it anymore. To hold space for yourself and space for change. I'm just going to read that allowance again, because it's making me think of, what are you allowing to happen in your life with people? Frequency of allowance invites us to be open to whatever comes our way, without judgment, without opinion, without fear, and without resistance. When we allow, the universe becomes our partner in the wondrous dance of existence and expansion. So that whole without judgment, without opinion, it feels very flow, very like, you know what, I accept whatever is coming my way. It's taken that sort of step back and look at the bigger picture. Taking a step outside of it all, removing emotion and looking very logically at that, and having the strength to say, okay, this is what I value, so I'm going to put time and energy and effort into that. And without judgment, letting go of the things that you don't value anymore. Does that make sense? So let's see, beyond the mind, the heart beats. And there's me saying about letting things go. Oh, Amazonite. So Amazonite, interestingly, is also known as the Stone of Courage and the Stone of Truth. So it's known for its detoxifying and protection against, Oh, it's detoxifying and protects against electromagnetic pollution. So it feels very grounded, and that's something that I'm getting a sense of here, is sort of removing that emotion from it and looking at it very logically and very clearly and very from a grounded sense. It makes me think of times, particularly when I was younger, where friends would talk about their relationships in such a negative way, and we've all done it. I've done it myself. Where I've gone to people and I've been like, oh, they're treating me like this and they're awful, and then I always feel at the end to add, but I love them. Or I always felt the need to put that at the end, and it's like that was the only thing that was holding it together, because why else would I let someone treat me a certain way? And this is just saying to have the courage to recognise that. I'd always say, if the only reason you're with someone is, but I love them, then is that, I don't know, you've got to love yourself first and value yourself, and she does. She knows her worth, she knows her value, and if someone is not treating you with love, then they don't deserve your love in return, do they? It doesn't have to be anything nasty. It doesn't have to be done in a combative way. It is just removing yourself from that circumstance, isn't it? And saying, and putting that barrier in place. Sorry, boundary, not barrier. I was like, hang on a minute, that doesn't sound right. Oh yeah, so this also, Amazonite, empowers the search for one's own truth and integrity. So just to let you know, I'm not massively familiar with the crystals. I own them and I started reading up on them, but I can't remember for the life of me what they mean. So I have intuitively, after doing the reading, I've intuitively selected these. I did not purposely put the Amazonite with this reading. I just put my hand across, and whichever one I'm drawn to, that's the one that came out. So let's have a read of the advice card. It's interesting because I've just been talking about removing the heart, and yet now it's like beyond the mind, the heart beats. In the chaos of modern life and the constant fluctuations of our mind, it can be difficult to remember that a sublime sanctuary lies within, yet it is always there. Beneath the ceaseless activity, there is an endless vast spaciousness that restores and connects us to something greater, something that exists outside of time. Some might call it eternity. Within that sanctuary, sacred sound is felt rather than heard. The sacred sound is actually the reverberating heartbeat of the entire universe. Your own heart's rhythm sounds within the great universal heartbeat. The totality of life, all of your being, can be felt as one through listening to and feeling for the sacred sound of the heart beating within you. This feels like very meditation, very like stilling your mind so you can focus on your heartbeat. It is through this heartbeat that we experience a love that is more than preference or attachment. There you go. This is the love that inspires, energizes, and moves us to create, even beyond what we once thought was possible. Your love for life, the need to feel alive and express yourself, the quest for that which is truly fulfilling. And this is coming away from unfulfillment. These are the sacred urges, the rebel against fear. I'll start again. These are the sacred urges that rebel against fear and promote passion for being alive. They flow through your blood and can be felt through the beating of your heart. This oracle has a message for you. There is the way of the mind, which can make mountains out of molehills, even when it thinks it is turning mountains into molehills. Then there's the way of the heart. It is subterranean and moves subtly beneath possible obstacles, intelligently shifting with exquisite sensitivity, sensing the way forward through dangerous pathways and responding to what is before it even occurs in the physical world. However, within the heart's intelligence, we cannot see and know in the same way that we do when we allow the mind to direct us. We have to be open to another way if we want to benefit from the innate intelligence of the heart. The mind sees, plans, and strategizes. The heart feels, responds, senses, and intuits. When we walk the path of the heart, we must feel and respond rather than plan our way. It is a different way to live and create. It is closer to the earth and to the source of life itself. It's not for those who are lacking in courage and trust. Courage and trust. Courage and truth. But you are not one of those. You are being asked to trust your heart and to drop into it. The mind is important, but it cannot supplant the heart. The role of the mind is to serve the truths of the heart. I think, do you know what? This feels more like when I was saying about removing our feelings, this is like coming away from what our emotions are telling us. But I love them. Listen to the true emotion underneath of how you feel, how that connection makes you feel. The role of the mind is to serve the truth of the heart. That is, to create the spacious chamber of receptiveness into which the sacred rhythm of your heartbeat can resound. This oracle comes with guidance for you. Deep within you, know what to do, and you know what is true. Deep within you know what to do, and you know what is true. It matters not whether the mind and its plans seem to agree with your inner sense. Your willingness to trust your heart and to rebel against fear will serve you well. Let your heart lead you. Be sure of your faith and trust in what you feel. Your head and heart have been in conflict at times over the course of your life. This has brought you struggle and sometimes deep suffering. However, this oracle brings you the message that a truce will soon be declared and the appropriate outcome of the mind waving the white flag of surrender is imminent. Soon, if not already, you will finally be feeling that your heart is leading you. You will feel that your mind is learning to follow the guidance of your heart, rather than trying to be out front, seeing and sorting everything in the advance in order to be safe. What a relief to let go of this old way. Your mind can become more relaxed and trusting. There will be a period of adjustment as you get used to living without so much foresight, but with more insight, wisdom, and energy in the present moment to create. If you are finding that you cannot plan or strategize as you once did, or you feel that you know less than you have ever known about where you are heading or how you are supposed to get there, then this oracle comes as confirmation that these are healthy signs of a shift from head to heart. You are not proceeding in error. You are exactly where you are meant to be, doing exactly what you are meant to be doing. You are now in a position that is more powerful than ever, because you are allowing yourself to be guided by your heart, a heart that beats in harmony with the heart of all existence. Your affairs are in accord with love, and no matter what may appear to be at times, all is unfolding according to that greater love, you included. And the healing process. Lie on your back comfortably with your hands on your heart. Say, I love you, I trust you. You are beautiful and you are wise. You beat in harmony with the greater plan of love. You are my guiding light. Rest with your hands at your heart for several long, slow breaths, and however long feels good, or however long feels good. When you are ready, just go back to your day or evening. Anytime you need to strengthen your connection to your heart's truth, drop into your heart awareness by lightly placing one or both hands on your chest over your heart and breathing gently. Okay, please let me know in the comments or on social media, and bye for now. Hello, this is Becky from Northern Star Guidance, and thank you for choosing pile 4, and that is with the malachite tumblestone. So let's have a look, and this is for your relationships. Could be relationships with partners, friends, family, co-workers, or yourself. So we've got Soul Time and Gaia that come out from the geometric activation cards. Soul Time. The frequency of Soul Time asks us to allow the possibility of a new reality to emerge. One that embraces the concept that while the corporeal body is mortal, the soul is timeless, limitless, and infinite. Wow, so this is like massive soul growth, I think, especially with Gaia coming up as well. The frequency of Gaia reminds us that we are infinitely connected to one another, just as we are to our Great Mother and to the universe that birthed all of us. So already I'm feeling sort of an expansive being at one with yourself, being at one with the energies of the universe and the earth. So that sort of strengthens our connections to each other, to everyone. Doesn't feel like just a one-on-one sort of thing. So the cards that we got out in relation to this: 2 of Chalices, or 2 of Cups, 10 of Wands, and the 7 of Atoms, or the 7 of Swords. Now, usually 7 of Swords is seen as sort of a deceit, but I don't read it like that in this one, and I think in this deck it's slightly different anyway, but let's see. Better start at this end before jumping to this one. So 2 of Chalices. And with this one, I'll always say what's in your cup, because whatever you are expressing out there is what you attract back in. It's something I talk about an awful lot, especially with relationship coaching, is, are you embodying your highest self? You know, is your energy there? Is your self-love there? Because if you're offering that out, that's what you get back. That's what you're going to find. So in this particular reading that's come up, we've got the 10 of Wands, which is a load of burden, and as you can see, this person's very much alone carrying this burden. And I almost feel it's like, why are you carrying all this burden? Because there are people around you that are willing to help you with this. It's funny, this was my pile. I resonated with this one the most out of a lot of them. And with this coming out as well, 7 of Atoms, and this is about using skill. It's using like planning and strategy, using our logical skills. And it feels like work smarter, not harder. Are there people who can help you with your responsibilities to free you up a little bit? Or it could even be like emotional burdens. What are you carrying around inside? And it just feels like there's someone there that can help you with this. There's someone, friend, family, colleague, someone that just sharing that burden with is going to lessen that load. And whether it's delegating, whether it's, hun, can you pick the kids up tonight because I've got loads of work to do, or I've got loads of washing and ironing to do, or whether it's talking to a friend, oh, I'm going through a really rough time at the moment. But I feel like there's that need to connect with someone else to share this burden with. especially with this coming up. I mean, look, he could be, see the way she's got hold of all these sticks here, and it's hard to get up there. She's pulling her back out to do it. And he's just made this thing so all his knives are there, are strapped to his back, so his hands are free now. And it's that sort of energy of, okay, where can you make your life a bit more streamlined so that you're not struggling alone with it, with whatever it is that is weighing you down, whether it's physically, energetically, emotionally, mentally, and who is around that you can lean on. Obviously, not all the time. They can't carry you, or they end up like this person. But it's that sense of a problem shared is a problem halved. Yeah. Because there's people there. There's people there to help you with that. So before I get to your Sacred Rebel guidance card, I'll talk about malachite. So just so you know, I'm not very up on crystals. I bought them quite a while ago. I don't use them very often, and I stopped sort of reading up on them and just started going intuitively, like with what I was feeling drawn to at the time of feeling like I needed a crystal. So I've done the same with these readings. I've done the readings, and then I've scanned my hand across all my crystals, and I've chosen the ones that I've drawn to, that I've been drawn to energetically. So, and then I've looked up the meaning for you. So malachite is balancing and associated with abundance. It's the stone of transformation used for energy clearing and protection from negativity. And that's that, isn't it? That is all that negative energy that you are carrying around on your back. But there's a strong sense of other people being there to help you with that. Or just finding a way to work smarter around it. So let's see, we've got follow your own rhythm. Love this card. It's funny, I did my own personal reading the other day, and this come out as the advice for that. And like I said, this entire reading it resonated with me instantly. Deep within, you are moved by an ancient, powerful force that cannot be tamed. It is the rising pulse for your connection to the life force. That's this, isn't it? The soul time, and Gaia as well, actually. Both of them are about being connected to the universe. You feel it in your bones, in your blood, in your heart, and in your belly. When there is something dying within, you sense it falling away, no longer needed. You sense it when it's time to rest and be patiently in transition. You feel a stirring of agitation and restfulness when new life calls you to create, to act, to step forward, and to take a risk. You know that you march to your own beat, that no one else can tell you what your inner rhythms are, and that you must trust in your own timing. You cannot be rushed or forced, nor can you be held back when it is time to burst forth. Life celebrates and supports the natural rise and fall of your inner rhythms. This oracle brings you the special message that you cannot miss what you are destined for, nor will you gain anything by trying to push yourself. Trust in the life cycles within, and you will feel the perfect balance between effort and surrender, discipline and letting go. When it's time for the rhythm of rest, you will feel a natural slowing within and be drawn into contemplation and environments that are more gentle, spacious, and nourishing, and perhaps more peaceful. When the rhythm of play beats in your heart, you will reach out to others to connect, dance, converse, sing, make music, make love, and share your wildness. You will be drawn to uplifting groups and places where you can experience a positive, energetic exchange. Your needs will be met in harmony with your own rhythms. All that you will miss out on by trusting this is anxiety. What you will gain is peace. If you have also pulled the inner trust card or feel intuitively guided to read that message now, this oracle has an even stronger message for you, that you must surrender your attachment to doing things the way others think that they should be done. Whether that be the hours that you sleep or the way that you structure your day or your creative work, you must honour your need for rest and replenishment, as well as your need for play. Sometimes an afternoon nap or a trip to the beach will do far more for you than slogging away. There's this card, isn't it? Than slogging away when you are mentally depleted and in need for rest. Sometimes you need to work when the energy is flowing, even though others may say it's too much and you have to stop now. You are an empowered individual and you have the intelligence and wisdom to choose for yourself. Experiment with what works best for you and tailor your lifestyle so that it nurtures your best self into being. Healing process. Say aloud, I now release any unhealthy attachment to the structures, routines and belief systems of others that are preventing me from accessing and honouring my inner sacred rhythms. May I be assisted through unconditional love to know the truth of my own timing. I love myself enough to give rest when needed, to trust in my own timing and not feel forced or rushed. I believe in myself enough to take healthy, inspired risks and actions when the timing feels right for me. I trust in my inner rhythms. They are wise and helpful. Through unconditional love, so be it. You now may wish to stand up and close your eyes. Be aware of your own energy. What does it feel like now? That's that. What's in your cup? What does it feel like now? What does your body want? Is it to move, to curl up into a ball and rest, to open your arms and dance around the room with joy? Perhaps you would like to give yourself a reassuring hug. Take a moment now to do what is needed for yourself based on your feelings. If this is easy for you, great. If it's hard for you to know what it is you need, even more wonderful. This means you are open to learning something new about loving yourself, and it will become easier with practice. Okay, so please let me know in the comments how that resonated with you or on my social media channel, and I will see you next Tuesday. Bye for now.